All right, Jonathan. So first question is, what made you get into detailing? Where did detailing come from?
What made, well, I had cars in the past. I'd work on my mom's car. I worked on my personal cars. I really loved doing it for myself. And then I realized, well, maybe I should just do this for a living and see whether or not people want me to wash their cars. I would wash my cars. My neighbors would always say, hey, how much is my car? Or you always get that one, hey, mine's next. But they want it for free. But actually, I just started messing around with it and see whether or not people wanted it. Some people did, some people didn't. But I loved it so much, I wanted to do it. So I made it into a business.
What was the realization when you went from doing it because you love it to a business? Did anything change? Anything you had to learn? Any struggles or issues you had to overcome?
Yeah, there was a lot to learn, Reyes. Customer service, you have to learn that. You got to learn how to speak to the clients. I believe a lot of detailers, no offense, but they can't communicate properly and get their point across to the clients. So that's where I believe a lot of detailers lose, are not able to lock in those clients. It's all about communication. If you can't communicate properly, then the clients are not going to understand what you're saying, and vice versa. And that's where you're going to lose them.
When you say customer service, what do you mean by that? Being nice to a customer, being understanding, giving them what they want?
Customer service, just basic, being nice all around. You want to, I don't want to say customer is always right, but majority of the time, you want to treat them the right way. You're touching their property, so you got to respect their property.
All right, Jonathan, next thing I want to talk about is equipment and training. How did you learn your technique to detail?
For that stuff, Reyes, I want to get, I guess you can say, professionally trained by some other detailers out there that offer some courses. But at the same time, what I learned all my stuff from pretty much everybody else, watching it on YouTube and also doing it on your own vehicle or your relatives, your friends, your families. I learned basically mostly doing it all by myself on my vehicles, and then when I started doing it on clients' vehicles, I'm still learning, and that's where I learned all my skills from there.
Who were your first set of customers? That actually paid you? Friends, family, strangers?
I had coworkers from my day job who actually paid me. There's some family and friends. Friends, they appreciate it, so they want to support you, so they went ahead and booked with me. And then when I took that leap of faith and I signed up with Yelp and Google, once the reviews started coming in, I kind of got a little motion going to get more clients, and that's how I got most of my clients now.
Next thing I want to talk about is pricing. I know when detailers first start, they're not charging the most. Did you raise your price a lot of times? Only once? What would you say?
With pricing raise, I raised it at least for sure 3 times. For sure, 3 times. Because I realized what I'm worth and the skills that I know. So I raised it. Make sure when you price what you know you're worth. Don't be pricing cheap and doing a lot of work, and vice versa. Don't be doing expensive work and then your results are cheap. Does that make sense? Maybe I didn't word it right, but you know what I mean.
Going back, what would you have done differently with your prices? Or would you have done the same exact thing, raise them 3 times? Or only raise them once? Maybe charge more?
No, I didn't want to change. I wouldn't have changed nothing, Reyes. I like the way I did it. Of course, everyone's going to start small because you want to test the waters. At the same time, you want to pretty much be in the same price range as all your other detailers out there, because there's no point of being more. If you're worth it and you know it, then okay, by all means, charge what you're worth.
All right, Jonathan. So when you raise your prices, give me an example. What would you tell customers? Those day one customers that are like, bro, I've been supporting you since the beginning. You're going to raise the prices on me? You ever have anybody like that?
There's one when I first, I don't want to say first started, but maybe a couple months into it, I kind of had to raise the prices because when you run your business, when you start your business, you start realizing all the stuff that you have to buy, all the things you have to support, your chemicals, your gas, your maintenance, your insurance, all that stuff is all tied into it. So you got to make sure you think about all that stuff because you can't be working for free at the end of the day. You still need to work for a profit.
So what would you tell them? That? Be like, I have a lot of bills, I gotta raise my prices.
Well, you don't want to tell them in a mean way, but you want to tell them in a respectful way. For example, inflation. Inflation is up, so you have to keep up with that market. And you just tell them that I need to keep up with inflation because otherwise I wouldn't be in business. I can't support my family. I can't support my business. So I tell them as respectfully and nicely as I can.
Now, do you tell them when you show up for a detail before, or through text message, do you call them?
I will talk to them after I do their last detail at that last price. And then I'll explain to them what's going on with the market or the economy and my business. So that way I could not lure them in, but let them understand why I'm raising the prices on them. And not just them, but everybody across the board. But I'd like to know how you explain to your customers whether or not you're going to raise the prices. Drop them in the comments below.
All right, Jonathan, last question is the seasons. Did you know what to expect when it was going to be busy, when it was going to be slow, or you were learning as you went?
By the other detailers explaining to me their experiences, they would always say, which makes sense, summer will always be busier than winter, and winter will be a lot slower. Again, I've just been blessed that a lot of customers have still been calling me for work, and I haven't been slow other than the rain during winter. And summer is just crazy busy and hot.
Hey, what do you do about the heat, bro? That first summer, did it hit you really good, or were you able to, find ways to stay cool?
Yeah, it hit me pretty good, really good. But at least wear a hat, so that way your face is covered from the sun and you're protected. You always want to protect number one, and that's you. Always stay hydrated and always wear a hat or sunscreen or whatnot, but always take care of yourself.
All right, Jonathan. So today you had help, a brand new detailer. You're teaching him the ropes. A lot of people are in the same boat. What's your number one advice for them to learn how to detail the right way?
I don't want to say the right way, but the right way to me, just learn from your experiences. Wash your own car, wash your friends and family's cars if they let you. You have to sacrifice your money for the first investment. With your chemicals, you got to figure out which chemicals work for you, which ones work for the vehicles, which one works for your budget. Also watch YouTube videos. There's a lot of good detailers out there that you should be able to follow. Make sure they explain everything correctly to you. Go to your local detail shop, talk to your local detailers. Some of them are really cool. Most of them are really cool. Others, they don't really want to talk because they're busy in and out to take care of their other clients. Also, just like me, you could also ask other detailers whether or not you could help them on a ride along or whatnot. I was fortunate enough to let him come aboard and let him learn the ropes with me, my process, the way I talk to the clients, the way I represent best-in-class detailing, and who I am. And that's what I learned in my first year of detailing. And let me know what other videos and content you want to see in the comments below. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button for more detail content.